and welcome back to the Loopy Homestead. We are starting our day with our American Bresse chickens, and today is moving day. So we have kept these guys in this brooder as long as possible. The weather outside has still been getting down below the 30s. We kind of randomly got some like snow sprinkle the other day, I guess. We were out of town, but my sister was here. And so we have just wanted to make sure that these guys have the best chance possible. They are almost totally feathered. They've still got a little bit of down, but for the most part, they should have a good deal of insulation for at least getting out there. We have 2 heat lamps in our little brooder out there already. We're probably going to bring this third one out there just to make sure there's extra heat going on. We already have our feeder hanging in there, but we will need to set up our waterer and, of course, get these guys out of here. Currently, they're taking up at least half of this bin when they're laying down, and it is so crowded that their food and their water are no longer staying clean. So for good animal husbandry, we just can't keep them all in this inside the house now. So we will definitely be getting them outside, getting them comfortable, and it's very likely that I am going to set up our chicken cam, which is usually in our main hen house, but set it out next to that brooder so we can kind of check on them later in the evening as it gets dark and just make sure that they are doing a-okay. Hey chickies! Are you guys ready to go out to your new home today? Y'all look like you're pretty crowded in here now. Before we get the chicks moved out there, I'm going to go ahead and take the heat lamp out, and I'm going to take their water out. This is just an old milk jug we rinsed out really well and filled up with water from our sink here. It has 2 different packets in it. One of them is an electrolyte. The other is a probiotic. We have been giving that to them in the house here, but since we're sending them outside, I want to make sure they get another good round of it. One of the other reasons we kept the chickens in a little longer and why we're still doing this is we had just 1 chicken a couple days after they came home end up with pasty butt. If you're not really sure what that is, basically it's just a digestive issue. But the primary problem is that their little poor bottoms will get caked with poop. And they can't reach back there to clean that off. So really all you do for it is make sure to get that chick out every day, or when you notice it, clean their poor bottoms off. A lot of times they end up having sort of a bald butt as a result for a little bit. But you just make sure that that's clean, leave it in there, and usually it's something that'll clear up itself. You just have to make sure those chicks stay really clean. But the chick that was having that problem appears to be over that for now. Hopefully for good, because he is older now, or she, maybe. But all that being said, we want to make sure that they still have some good nutrients going on in their water. As they get outside where it is colder, we want to make sure to keep their immune systems up a little bit, as well as their digestive systems now that they'll be out kind of picking through, you know, some more outside type stuff. Chickens! Alrighty, so I am out here at our shed where we keep all our chicken supplies. We are just going to use this little waterer for now. As they age, we might graduate to this one. We cleaned it out when we got done with the last chickens. It's a little dusty, but I don't think that dust will hurt them much. You can hear our other chickens are out here perfectly happy to be seeing me. They think they're getting some treats. But we'll head on into the brooder now, where I will fill this puppy up and get it set up for them. Hello, ladies. Are you guys ready to have some new rubies soon? I haven't got anything for you. Alrighty, so welcome back out to our outdoor brooder. As you can see, I've got my feed hanging here. We've got 2 of the lamps in, but you might notice that over towards our feeder, there's not as much going on with light. So what I plan to do is probably get a 3rd one hooked up at the other end here. Make sure that there's plenty to keep them warm. So we'll go ahead and start with my waterer here. We're just going to open this up and turn it over. kind of set it down in there and just pour this guy in. And this holds right out a gallon here, so they'll be pretty good. At home, they've been going through, I should say inside, they've been going through that smaller waterer every couple hours or so. So hopefully this will last them a little longer. Just trying to get it screwed in here. It's a little tight. There we go. The way we hang it here is we have a chain. There's one hook on the bottom that's totally open. Our handle will go in that, and then we can adjust it up here. The great thing about that, it means as they get taller, we can raise it up. So it'll hopefully keep it far cleaner than they have been experiencing right now. And since I know about how tall they are, I'm going to release this one here, adjust it up to about the height I've got my feeder at right now, and do that. Clean a couple of the shavings that fell into it here. And there we are. Aside from hooking up the other heater, or I should say heat lamp, they'll be ready to come in real shortly.
Clean up on aisle 7. Clean up on aisle 7.
Alrighty, so I got that heat lamp that was inside. I'm just gonna go ahead and start by plugging it in. And I feel right there is probably an ideal place for it. It is shining down on that heater and the waterer. It's clamped up on the upper bar here for our roof. It's high enough that I really doubt we have a little chicken that will jump that high to knock it over. And I've secured its cord behind this other heat lamp that we have here. This one has some screws in the top of the bar that will hold it in place so it can't be pulled out or knocked down either. And I'm actually, now that we have that one there, gonna turn that more centrally. So we have one very low. This one probably needs to have a similar treatment so the cord isn't hanging so low. Anyway, we have one over here that is much lower, so if it is very cold, they can still get underneath that. But for the most part, I think this will be toasty enough. If they gather together, they'll stay warm if it gets chilly tonight underneath the heat lamps. As I said, I'm going to toss our chicken cam up in here today, just so I have the ability to kind of check in on them tonight before we go to bed and make sure that everything is copacetic. So we're going to get ready to bring the little guys out to their new home. All right, back in the house again. It is time for these guys to get out of here because my kitchen is covered in chicken dust. I'll be cleaning it again today to make sure that our food and my mixer can be used without being covered in their filth. I've got a box here with just a towel over it. This is how we'll get them from the kitchen to the brooder. My dad is going to take care of keeping the towel on here so they don't all jump out, and I will be the chicken catcher. Now they're going to make a lot of noise and fly around while I'm doing this. We of course did not do a lot of handling with them, so they're just kind of freaked out. They're loud, but they're not being hurt. got a tail sticking out. Alrighty, we'll take them out to the brooder, get them loaded up.
I'm just wondering what the thing is.
Time to get them moved out of the box and into here. I'm gonna shut my gate a little bit and have my dad bring me the box. They're all huddled down in the box now, of course. They wanted to get out earlier, but now they're not so sure. I imagine, though, once I start picking a few out of here, the rest of them will join in. Or not. None of them are in the least bit sure what to do. It looks like everybody's settling in nicely. We haven't seen them go to the food or the water yet, but I imagine they'll find it. I think they're just happy to have a little more room now. You can see them jumping around doing the things that they do. So we'll give them some space and we'll probably come back in the next hour or so to take a look at them. We did come back out and take a look and then checked our chicken cam again at about 8 o'clock. Everybody seemed to be perfectly happy. I am out here at the coop. It is 10 o'clock tonight. We have been watching our temperatures drop and drop. We're now at about 30 degrees. And as you can see, my little chicks are hanging out over under a single lamp. So we're going to have to take a few minutes to lower our other two to see if we can give them a bit more of a warmer spot. We've been watching them on the chicken cam. They were happy earlier. Now, not so much. You can see we've moved our lights here. Hopefully that will make them happier campers tonight. It's possible that it's just that they're outside. It's cooler than it was in the house. It's scary, so they're clumping together. But either way, I want to make sure that they're nice and toasty tonight. This is a part of having animals like this. Sometimes the nights are snowy or there's storms. You got to kind of batten down the hatches. Sometimes it's just cold chicks, and you've got to, at 10 o'clock at night, come out and make sure that they're warm. So I will continue to watch the chicken cam, make sure that they are doing well. I hope we won't have to make any other trips out here and that they'll be perfectly happy. But there we are. Chickens! Chickens! Well, I can tell who the smart ones are. Come on, ladies, figure out your way out. Chick, 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 chick. Pretty soon, guys, we're hoping to start some of these things from scratch. We can stop buying them. Mealworms can be pretty easy to raise over here. Well, hey, little guy, how did you get out? So, after last night being so cold, I have come out to check on the chickens this morning. They're happy. It's actually much warmer this morning. They seem to be doing well, and I have a kid who's apparently already out here. So there's a good chance that we may open this brooder up to the whole run a lot sooner than we would have planned. Clearly, this kid's already gone over or under this fence, which means it won't be long before they'll all be trying to do that. So with that, I will get him back in, get them some more food and water, and we will see you next time on the Loopy Homestead. Thanks for joining us back on the Loopy Homestead. If you'd like to stay in the loop, please subscribe to our videos. And if you'd like to help us find more looplings like you, please like and share them. See you next time. Bye. That one had poo foot, and I may have just gotten poop on my face. Yay, chickens!